Hi, it's Cynthia and Theresa. We're the co-founders of CultureTalk. Over the past
Hello.
there she is. Over the past 20 years, we've worked with hundreds of brands, organizations, leaders, consultants, and our work is focused on helping people optimize their brand strength, lead in new ways, and build strategies around culture. That's why we started Culture Talk, which is a leadership and culture training and development platform that uses the power inherent in archetype.
That's right. We love our archetypes. And if you are new to the concept, that's the storytelling framework that we use at Culture Talk. And the reason we do is because they provide a shortcut to understanding human behavior. They really help us focus on human beings being human. And that means that the stories we uncover are rich and colorful, but they're also flawed and relatable. And as such, they provide us with this deep insight into the motivations, strengths, unconscious biases, and even organizational culture. So today, we're excited to launch a new weekly LinkedIn video series. And our goal is to share some practical ideas on culture and leadership through the lens of archetypes.
Yeah, we know because we've worked with archetypes for a long time that lens can give you a new way to address very complex as well as interconnected business and workplace issues and challenges. And actually, since this is our first in the video series, let's just start with the big one and let's dive right in
Go for it.
with diversity and inclusion. Another topic that even today, as we speak, is getting a lift from what's happening in the world. But I feel like, Teresa, even when I mention the phrase diversity inclusion, people's defenses go up.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Whether we're talking about race or gender or generations in the workforce or even disabilities, everyone immediately starts to feel vulnerable. They become fearful almost of how they will be seen in the conversation. And even on an organizational level, leaders, I think, kind of want to skirt around some of the tough stuff, the harder parts of the conversation, because they don't want too much scrutiny on the people and processes that they've got in place. And so, even mainstream approaches, diversity and inclusion programs, might actually, by design, only scratch the surface. They might raise awareness, and I think there's value in that. They may educate people about what are these issues, but they're really limited in their ability to frame a deeper, more human conversation that inspires lasting change. So, Tristan, how do archetypes help us?
Yeah, I mean, I think that that's where they really provide a fresh perspective on the diversity conversation, and one that makes us, allow us to be vulnerable, but also stay safe. Because when we understand our own archetype patterns, that allows us to show up as a full human being with both the strengths and the shadow sides of that pattern. And it also allows us to see those patterns as they show up in the people around us. And it opens up a new sense of connection. And I think it also allows us to quickly tap into some compassion as well, very naturally.
Yeah,
The archetype.
I was just going to say the compassion piece is an interesting word to use in the workplace, but we have seen again and again when people feel seen that they're open to being more vulnerable with each other.
Absolutely, and when we can have that conversation and go deeper with each other, then we can skip over a lot of nonsense that really gets in our way. When we think about measuring and checking boxes to understand how diverse our organization is, but we never really go into understanding the diversity of our backgrounds
Mm.
and connecting around these universal themes that make us human to begin with. If we look at someone else on our team, we might see that we have a different story and a different race or a different ability level, but if we could have some really connected archetypal patterns, and those things could make us more alike than different.
It's like
Because I think archetypes are actually colorblind, non-judgmental. And they give us this shortcut, if you will, to understand people at a deeper level. So when we build from that place, a diversity and inclusion conversation all of a sudden gets a lot more meaningful.
Yeah, it's like we're human first, right? Before we are any of those check boxes, we have a shared humanity. So if you're interested in hearing more about diversity and inclusion and this idea of how they help us see each other as humans first, we are going to actually be doing a whole expert panel discussion on the topic next Wednesday, September 30th. And there's going to be a link in the comments if you want to learn about that. But we also are planning to be here every week on LinkedIn, so do tune in again. And we're here, we're going to share week after week ideas about how the framework of archetype can help you move the needle in your organization and really create lasting change.
Awesome. Looking forward to seeing you guys. Hope to see you next week. Check out the link below. And thanks for tuning in.